Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mariah and here on my channel I post lifestyle, university and physiotherapy related content. So if you're interested in that, make sure you subscribe and turn the notification bell to all so you don't miss a video. Here is my nursing review. Quick little overview. As part of my degree, if you're new here, I study MSc Physiotherapy at the University of Birmingham. So part of my degree, I had to do 30 hours of nursing placement. I just finished my 30 hours of nursing placement yesterday, so I thought, get the video done because, you know, fresh in your mind and all that. But if you see me looking down, it's because I have typed up some notes of stuff that I want to make sure that I say for you guys. But yeah, so I did 30 hours of nursing placement. I think the reason why they get us to do nursing placement before we do physio placement is for us to understand the MDT a little bit more, understand the role we will play, understand the role that others play for everything to work together to help the patient journey. Like, it all pieces together basically once you're there. You understand the little bits of the puzzle, which I think it was achieved and I understood it, and I think it gives you a bit more appreciation of what others do. Not saying that I never had that before, because I did have appreciation of what others do. Like, I help care for people as is, and like I have family who work in healthcare or are pursuing to work in healthcare, so I completely understand it. So it's like, it wasn't like I was like, wow, oh my god, there's an MDT? Like, no, you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, no, I wasn't living under a rock. But it gives you more of an appreciation. Because I feel like, for a lot of people, no names, but for a lot of people, or a lot of like, we're gonna go stereotypical, you tend to see like a hierarchy, like, unnecessary hierarchy where people think something's slightly below them, and I'm just like, grow up. Anyway, so you don't want to be like in a place, like, I feel like doing this nursing placement, it humbles a lot of people. Like, you realize, oh, actually, I could do this, and, you know, I don't have to be like, nurse, I can't see this person because you haven't done this. Like, roll up your sleeves, do something, you know what I mean? But anyway, I had to get that out because I felt like it was needed. But yeah, so I did 30 hours and now I'm over with the 30 hours. So I'm on my Easter break right now. Well, unofficial part of my Easter break. But yeah, so I did the 30 hours over 3 days. I did 11-hour shifts over those 3 days from 7 till 6. 7 to 6 was alright. The only slight inconvenient part of doing 7 to 6 and where I was placed is that I was placed on the other side of Birmingham to where I stay when I'm in Birmingham, which was a little bit inconvenient for me because 7 in the morning is like 2 trains run at that time, and it just meant, because of where I live when I'm in Birmingham, it meant that I was forced to get a hotel so I could be slightly closer to then get the train, so then I could actually get an hour's more sleep. But yeah, that was the inconvenient part, but it is what it is. It was only 3 days, so it is what it is. It's not too bad. But yeah, so on day 1, when I got there, I was a little bit late, but you don't need to know that. I got lost in the car park. But yeah, so the day 1, I followed HCA. And that one I followed HCA, got to do washes, handing out food, dressing patients, like stuff like that. And honestly, day 1 surprised me. Because like, when I said I was doing nursing stuff to my friends, some of them were like, that's not a job I could see you doing. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to be a nurse. It's like, it's part of the component. It's just, I will explain later why I don't want to be a nurse. And you can say what you want to say, but like, I'll explain why. But what's it called? Plus physio's where I'm at. But like, yeah, it's just certain roles. For example, washing patients. I think I'm like, not like, ew, but I just didn't expect me to be like, okay, calm. Like, let's go. Where's the gloves? Like, I didn't expect that from me. I didn't expect me to be like, oh yeah, cool. I'm fine changing like someone's pad or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like, by pad I don't mean like monthly pad. I mean like bed pad, diaper thing, diaper, nappy, whatever you want to call it. Like, changing one of those pads, I don't mind doing that. Like, I was surprised I didn't mind doing that, and I was surprised I didn't hesitate. I just jumped right into the role, which like, I was like, to myself about that. I was just surprised how independent I was in, like, how open I was to being independent immediately, basically. That's what I liked about myself. And that's what I liked about being on the ward. Like, I didn't mind when the bell would, like a patient would ring the bell. I don't mind, you know, going to the bedside being like, oh, you okay? Is there anything I can help you with? And da-da-da. Like, I was comfortable. And it's a small little ward and everybody was adorable. So, yeah. Bear in mind, I forgot to say, it was a flu ward. And typically most of the population on that ward, well, let's say 50 plus. Majority of the average was about 50 plus, I would say. It's probably higher than that, but I can't bother to do the maths. But yeah, so that was like day one, quick overview. But if you follow me on Instagram on the @array.yt account, you will know that every single day after placement, I posted a picture with some words on it, like just a quick overview of how I found that day. And I'll insert that here. Okay, so as that's going there, this is why you need to follow me on Instagram, so you can see what I say every single day and you can get that slight early tea in comparison to having to wait for the full video to come out. Quick thing, sorry about the lighting, it's sunny outside. Anyway, so on day 2, like I had Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, that's how I had it. But on day 2, it was slightly different. I was following the nurses, but then also doing some HCA stuff. So like I got to see, I got to do OBS, I got to see, like, you know, the medicine round where they go around and like do all that. Got to like shadow in one of those, so that was nice. Had heard my first emergency call, froze. I know, it's a disgrace. I shouldn't have froze. Like, my instinct wasn't to run. I don't know why the hell it wasn't to run. Like, I should have ran. And like we spoke about it after, like with one of the nurses, like, you know, I should have ran. But it's kind of just like, I feel like, what was I gonna, like, you know, what was I meant to do? I'm not even trained. Like, the only thing I know how to do is CPR. I mean, maybe that would have been helpful, but yeah, next time in future, if I do hear an emergency bell, I will run along with the other members of staff. So yeah, it's like embarrassing moment for myself there, but yeah, I got to do that. Oh, I forgot, day 1, I also got to see what physios do as well. When the physios came on the ward, I got to follow them and like sit in on talking to about 2 patients and just like hearing how it would go. So that it gave me an insight into what my role would be and like how I would be present on the ward and like what I'd have to do in. Completely different to what I was doing, but it's also nice to see what I would be doing. I don't know if that made any sense. I think it did. Anyway, but yeah, so I got to do that on day 1. But like yeah, day 2, there was some stuff on like day 2. So other than the emergency bell, the only thing that like shocked me on day 2 was the amount of food that gets wasted in the NHS. Oh my god, it burns my soul. Like, obviously they do lunch, breakfast, and dinner rounds like at a certain time. But I mean, obviously I understand that once you warm up food, you can't then reheat food. You know, food health and all that kind of stuff, food hygiene. Completely understand that. I've worked in the food industry before. I've worked in, I can't remember what the thing's called now. I've gone very numb. But anyway, like I've worked with food before to know that you can't do all of that. But it just, my soul hurt when I saw the amount of food getting like that had to be thrown away. I was like, can't we give it to staff or have like on a serious tip? Could it not be like, oh, only warm up what's needed, or like how you do on, I mean, how I do on a plane because I have allergies. I typically ring ahead and pre-order my meal. It's just to avoid any, you know, allergy situations. But like, could something like that be done? And obviously I understand that sometimes a patient may change their mind, but that's your business. That is your business. You ordered it, you eat it. That's how I see it in that sense. But because it reduces waste. Like, it just honestly shocked me how much waste is there. Like, I'm sounding like I'm making a joke, but I'm being real. Like, there was so much waste to the point I was just like, can we have like bring a container to work Tuesday? Like, you know what I mean? Like, just save the food and you eat it cold if you want to eat it cold. Like, but it's just, there's so much wasted. And then when I was like, oh, so what happens to all this food? Where's this one going? Oh, to the bin. I was like, yeah, no, like I feel like there should be a scheme introduced where either the food gets converted to something, or like you should have like a scheme with the local area where the local people who are homeless in the local area or are not as fortunate in the local area know when to arrive at the hospital and can take the food that wasn't consumed. Because, like, I don't even know, but that's my that's how I stand on that thing, because it's like there was so much food waste that it was actually shocking. So that's why on my Instagram post, that on my picture on that day, I put eye-opening in terms of the food. I was just, maybe I was naive to think like that much food wouldn't be wasted, but it's shocked to think, okay, this is just one ward. This isn't a massive ward and that much food is being wasted. Imagine the whole hospital as a whole. That much food is going in the hospital, like in the bin, every single day. It hurt. Anyway, I'll move on to another point because I'm probably depressing some people. I also put spare part on there. The only reason I put the word spare part on that Insta post that day is just because there was so many of us on the ward, and I found myself just being like, "Oh, you got that? Okay." But like, it was still a good day, so that's why I put spare part there. I put attached in terms of like, I felt like I was like building a bond with some of the patients. Like, I really enjoyed talking to them. I mean, like, oh, how are you today? Like, I'm good. I'd be like, oh, you look like you're doing this today. Oh, you're doing this now. You know, like, yeah, it was just kind of like that. I feel like I got that. I put MDT because obviously getting to see different things of how the MDT came together, especially like in the emergency situation, how everybody came together and was just like rushing, helping, and stuff like that. It's just seeing everybody's role in there, and so I put that there. I also put upsetting, the food situation, emergency call. I already explained that. But other things I got to do based on what I've written here and from what I remember. Because you see, day 3, I'm not gonna have to read this all. But like, I put that like transfers, basically bed transfer. So when I did my manual handling training, obviously we used like the slide sheets, which are these red shiny sheets. I'll maybe insert a picture. So we did slide sheets. Whereas obviously, if you're not basically, I haven't done anything like that since doing the training. So it was interesting to put the training into place and using like a pat slide and moving patient to a different bed, etc. It was interesting to get to use it, you know? Anyway, I'm gonna move on to day 3. So day 3 was yesterday, and yesterday I was pretty independent in that, yesterday, because yesterday it was me in the role of a HCA and another new HCA on the ward. So we were running as HCAs, because there wasn't a lead HCA. I said HCA so much. Anyway, so we were doing that, and that was nice. Like, I was helping with patients, you know, bathing patients, changing patients, taking patients to the bathroom, helping feed patients, hand out food, making sure like the end of the bed notes were filled out, helping like with repositioning. So obviously, if someone's laying in a bed for, you know, 24 hours, you've got to move them around to prevent bed sores and stuff like that, and assessing all of that. Like, I found, like, I was in my groove. I didn't have to be like, so what is there next to do? It's just like, oh, okay, I'll do this, I'll do that. If I could click, I'd click. But like, you know what I mean? But yeah, I was doing that, helping like with transfers, and it was like a really good day. The only sad part about yesterday, and like why I put on the Insta post like quiet, is because to an extent, even though like I was doing a lot, it was a quiet day. So I found myself having more time for the bedside notes than I did the other days. But the other days it'd be like, okay, let me just sign. Yeah, there we go. Where like yesterday I was like, oh, let me take a seat. What did you eat? Oh, okay. How many of that did you drink? Like, it was more chill in comparison to the other days. That's what I found. I also put like love, because you can see the love between like patients and their family members that came to visit. Put gratitude, because I feel like the patients were grateful for when I helped them, and I really appreciate that. And also I feel like the ward was grateful for like how well I helped. Not too, but you know what I mean, like just in that way I feel like, yeah, there's a lot of gratitude, and I was like grateful for them teaching me and not having like, not feeling like, I didn't feel like a burden to the ward basically, and I'm like grateful that they made me feel that way. And independence, because independent, and HCA duties, because I did HCA duties. But that's basically what I did over the 3 days. Just a quick wrap it up. Things that I would, yeah. So I've got written down here like a quick overview of things that I wanted to say. 1, what I learned about myself is that I'm actually able to do much more than I thought I was able to do without hesitation. And that makes me very proud of myself that I was willing to get stuck in. I could have gone in there so narrow-minded, and I could have gone in there and been like, I don't do nursing. No. And like, I think I did pretty well that to the point I was mistaken for a nursing student at points. Like, so that opened my eyes to how caring I really am to myself, not being like, dirt, dirt, but you know what I mean? Like, just in terms of like, that's how I feel. And I feel like it opened my eyes to more paths of the patient journey. It opened my eyes to how everybody else's role plays a part, how everybody's role can overlap at points, because even as a physio, if I go into the ward and the patient, say for example, hasn't been showered, hasn't been changed, I can change them. I mean, obviously within rules and regulations, I can't do certain things when you're in a certain role compared to being in a certain role, but like things like that, help the patient out. I can't be like, nurse, HCA, someone change this woman so I can work with her, or I can't be in the notes, I couldn't work with this patient because I couldn't change the patient. You know what I mean? Like, it humbles a lot of people, like I was saying from the jump. People have been humbled. And let me get back to quickly why I said I wouldn't be a nurse. I thought I'd address that quickly. So the reason, like, I respect everything nurses do, but I think that society doesn't respect nurses enough. You don't respect nurses enough in terms of their pay. You don't really recognize, you recognize what they do, but then you don't want to recognize what they do and level out the pay for what everybody does. I think it's just kind of messed up. And me personally, I know how I am with my money, and I am not about to be played. That's how I see it in that sense. Like, I know it comes across, like the way I've just explained it comes across weird, but like basically I feel like nurses deserve so much more appreciation than they get. And it's kind of sad to see that they don't get the appreciation that they get. Like, they get overworked, they get all of that, and what they get in return doesn't reflect all they do. And for me, it doesn't sit right with me, so I couldn't do it personally. That's the easiest way to explain it. But I feel like I have gone on for so long, so I'm going to wrap up this video. If you have any questions about my nursing placement, or if you're wondering if I'm going to film my other patients, I probably will do. But thank you for sitting in this long in for my video, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you give this a like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.